Boom, shakalaka, laka, boom. Boom, shakalaka, boom, shakalaka, boom. Welcome to another sketchbook tour. I'm gonna have to get some stickers for these sketchbooks, so they won't look all the same. Predominantly, this sketchbook is about portfolio concept pieces. Wow. Okay, let's try this again. Welcome to another sketchbook tour. I was saying before, I need to get some stickers to cover these, so I know the difference between each one. This sketchbook tour is about portfolio pieces, concept pieces for my online portfolio, hopefully to get some commissions as well as people or companies to hire. That's what this is all about. Okay, now we can start. Okay, here we go. Yeah, spectacular, amazing. I wanted to do some environmental drawings, and not just drawings, but also wanted to color in different methods. Marker, color pencil, watercolor. About as much as I can afford right now. Pastel. And then digital. I'll probably do this many times. You probably see videos of this online on YouTube. Just a basic forest look. Well, as basic as you can get. I was thinking about lighting and rocket reflectivity and different types of shading. So I thought about a cave scene. Hope you can see this well enough. I'm planning on doing that. I'm not doing the house. I still have problems making the houses. I would love to get a 3D program and really build up a whole repertoire of houses and interiors. I'm definitely doing this mountain here. I've done a couple of environmental scenes with mountains, part of the Magic World series. This is a river. I haven't decided on doing this yet. I might. Definitely in the ocean or sea. Doing kind of an abstract city scene. This is probably watercolor mostly. Might do it into the computer program. And an alien kind of landscape, something that looked completely bizarre. A more abstract city scene. And decided to do a little perspective scene, but I probably won't. I doubt I'm going to color this. This is just strictly a sketchbook situation. Same thing with this, you can barely see this perspective. Nothing on that page. Nothing on that page. And here we go. This is a character design concept I was coming up with, because I rarely sketch out different versions of a character. I know. That's terrible. But I decided to go with a SketchUp or different styles and different combinations of characters. So this concept, we're talking about a fisherman. So I'm going to create a character for a guild or a union that was a fisher union in Magic World. So I had to come up with a concept of how this character would look. Age, what he's doing, body type, what kind of fish equipment or what kind of stuff will be around him. So I was coming with different styles and designs. As you can see, I kept it very, very rough, and I used a Sharpie marker that was virtually dying on me again. And then kind of chose the best parts, or the ones that really felt right. Now, if you went to my blogger account, you've probably seen this already. This is the fisherman headshots. I'm sorry that the scanner just couldn't pick up the pencil correctly and just looked real terrible. But I sketched up heads of different fishermen, classic style, like Scooby-Doo-ish, Lord of the Ring. Maybe something a little modern, or even different nationalities and hairstyles. Man, mostly 90% of these characters are bald. I don't know. And almost all of them got beards. Yeah. Pretty much everybody got a beard of some type or another. I don't know, I kind of feel like that is the Gordon Fisherman kind of look. As you can see, I kind of like these two facial and hair features, and kind of combine them together and try to figure out how that would look. So this is a rough idea of what I was going for the fishmonger. This is just the male version. I have to do the female one. Gotta keep it equal. That's to have equal opportunity, no? Everybody gotta eat, everybody gotta fish. And this here came from a website. I gotta get the name for that. I didn't use Jazz's Arty Game. Damn it. I just put that somewhere a little bit. There we go. There we go. That's the name of it. Sorry about it. It's called Seventh Sanctum. They have a generator that can generate all kinds of animal and human combos. I don't know if Jazz's Arty Game has that, but I'll check it out later on. Well, if you don't know who Draw with Jazza is, you haven't been looking at YouTube long enough. Link me down below for both Draw with Jazza and the Seventh Sanctum. This is the combination they came up with. Greedy female, anamorphic sheep, and she has a build. So I kind of went and looked for references for sheep. Started working on the face. as well as the body. I kind of gave her a build, as in you can see that she's more muscular and not as soft and feminine and curvy-ish. And try to take the sheep features and humanize them as much as I could. So I kind of kept some of the facial distinctions and ears. Now, as far as the sheepish fur, I'm talking about the cashmere style, the younger sheep, not the sheep with the full wool. I was trying to get that. Gave her some jewelry, a handbag with dollar signs. Came up with the combination of colors that should be here: brown, gold, and green. Give her some platform shoes and kind of a woolly hair. So hopefully that'll be nice to see when it's on my portfolio. Same site. This time we have smart, cowardly, inexperienced, which I had to X that out because I couldn't understand what in the world we put down as inexperienced. Female anthropomorphic red scale snake with wasp waisted build, which is kind of weird. I might as well just say curvy. And her wardrobe would be classy. So I gave her a dress, maybe something that she wears around her, like a shawl. It's hard to express a smart character without having glasses or inexperience. Cowardly is not a problem, because glasses alone does not mean smart, but that's the general stereotype. So this is her with the glasses on. Kind of messed around with the Sharpies with red scales. I don't know if I'm going to color it or not. And I also gave her a background of a science lab with a server rack, chemical set, and just a computer that she's working on at a desk. On to the next part. This one here came out to be a logical male anthropomorphic toad. That was real simple. So I kind of got him the true false vest, which is a part of logic: false and true, positive, negative. And I gave him a look like a English gentleman. For some reason I always see frogs in that kind of format. Kind of a character from kind of a British stereotypical look. I didn't give him the monocle. I think that would be too far. And I kind of researched the skin color that was normally seen on frogs and toads, which is be sometimes green, sometimes brown kind of look. But yeah, there are frogs with purple, red, bright yellow, a beautiful blue. So frogs can be almost any color, really, and toads. And this one here from that same group, I tried to, when I went to the site, I haven't gone to Jazz's site, Jazz's Arty game, but when I went to the Seventh Sanctum, you can kind of tweak it. So I wanted it to have a combination of character designs that would seem simple or just over explain or just too much stuff, and for me to sift through it to really make the character. Because I'm sure out there in the industry, when you're talking to somebody who does not know how to draw or how to explain how a character looks, you have to sift through what they're saying to get what they are really meaning. So hopefully this will kind of show and help me out when somebody asked me to draw something that almost seemed like a sheer copy of somebody else. But this is a vicious, educated female anthropomorphic otter. So I had to look up what an otter looked like because I wasn't going to go by my imagination. So otters, from what I did remember, had that brown and dark brown fur and light fur, kind of beigeish. So hopefully I captured that in the face. And for viciousness, I gave her a knife and, of course, covered in blood. For educated, I kind of gave her a schoolgirl kind of look with books in the background. The only way to make this really look like an otter would probably be to color it. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. And then I went for the real complex and almost useless combination of words. So I went for another character, non-animal, human. So this one we have a playful man, has wide yellow eyes, which kind of felt like anime. He is bald, but used to have luxurious wavy hair that was color of a ripe apricot, which of course that doesn't matter if he's bald, but I guess it could show that he used to have hair that was colored like apricot. He has an athletic build, and he's dark skin or African American in skin tone, or Indian in skin tone, or dark tannish, but that's the whole idea. He has an upturned nose, which I try to show that his nose is kind of sticking upwards, and his wardrobe is revealing and uncomplicated with a lot of yellow and green, which is not a problem because I could probably put some highlight yellows and greens in here and almost call it the highlighter challenge. I wanted it to be revealing so you can see some of his muscle features underneath here. And for hair, I kind of gave him a little leftover hair from his youth. I might even put like a bow back here where some more hair might be tied up in back. Playful, I couldn't really put that there without him being in action, but I gave him a smile and a kind of wavy finger like, ha! Okay. For the next thing I did was go to Book RX. While I went there, I wanted to draw. They always say that to show yourself to a company, you need to have sequential artwork. So I wanted to find something that was not normally seen in this industry, because you can barely find that many sample pages out there that you can do. I wanted something that I had to really sift through, that had no references to anything that's currently out there, or I could reference out there that wasn't known as a comic book out there, but somebody who's trying to make a comic book, basically a writer telling an artist what things are. So I wanted to get something like that. So I went to Book RX and I looked up these free books, short story free ebooks, and I discovered Friends Forever by, I can't really say this, it seems like a Indian name, not Native American, Indian. So I haven't even tried to pronounce that name. So I started sketching up the story, breaking down what was being written and what was the environment or the scenes or the type of emotion that's being expressed in the part of the story. So I had to break up the opening shot into 2 pages. It was a Monday morning. Can't really say much about that. Didn't want to show a bunch of cars and traffic. That would be Monday morning, I guess. But I get to show the morning here. And what day it is will be determined by what is written. And then the real start of the story is at a school. Even though it doesn't really say it's at a school, but it is at a school. But so, next few scenes we have the introduction of the teacher, which I had to break down because they have no description of how she really looked other than middle age, and nothing really yet on skin color or nationality or cultural distinction. Just her personality. So I had to figure out that. Now, some personalities you can't really describe in illustration. You have to describe it in action. So if it was animation, then describing a personality would not be a problem. So as I was saying, that's why I went to BookRx. So I wanted to find a written story that I had to sift through and figure out what was needed, what I could draw, what I needed to draw, what was really worth drawing, what could be expressed in illustration. And I show the kids coming in and how much they enjoy coming to her class, how much they love her, and her just enjoying talking to them before really starting the class. The story is written. It's already on my blog. You'll be able to see the story that I sketched up in it, and hopefully I'll be able to get an email from the writer and be able to hopefully get her take on this as well. Not like I'm trying to sell this to her, but I'm just wanting to make sure that if I do something with somebody else's work, they are at least somewhat aware that I've done such a thing. So that's one story. That one there was supposed to be a love story, but I didn't get to the love part. I kind of was enthralled at the beginning, the opening sequence. This one is more scarier. This is Portal by Brianne Boyes. It's kind of a sad, emotional scene here. So I had to go through the story. I couldn't take the first part of the story, but I found something in sort of the mid to end story, which was an emotional scene between the father and the son. So I kind of read the story a couple of times, sketched out. Hopefully you can see the penciling is very light. Sorry about that. So since I'm starting off the story kind of in the middle, you don't really know what the characters look like. My establishing shot was from the kitchen looking in. And as the story is written, the boy is looking around frantically. He reacts to what somebody says, almost angrily. But the man still is talking to him, who is the father. So throughout the scene, they are talking. But they're talking about these creatures that he can see, and the father can also see. And somehow the little boy's emotions are bringing up these monsters, are causing them to come into existence or get free from something that they're imprisoned with. So this story I can only see as a kind of a dark, moody scene. So fine detailed lines would definitely not work with this. Watercolor may not be saturated enough for this scene, for my take. I'm not all that exquisitely skilled with the watercolor yet, so I haven't decided on how I'm doing this. Marker, I don't have any markers that can blend very well or many different versions of colors, so I have to figure out something on how to color this. And I have to email this artist as well, if I can. Maybe I'll post this up on my Blogger account or my WordPress account. One of those two will have this. As the scene goes on, it gets worse and worse. Suddenly you imagine a monster that somehow melts the corner of the table before it comes into existence and is a real beast. They really spent a lot of time talking about this beastly monster that just appeared. And then comes a more scarier monster, which was some female form that was all black, with no lips, no mouth. And as the father's holding on to the son, she comes over and kisses him on top of the head, well, the son. And that's pretty much the end of that part of the story. The story continues on, and it is interesting, but I wanted to stop right there. That seemed like a good high, mid, intro, high, and low. It gave me enough combinations of where I can go on the color scale. The introduction of the story could be starting off a little lighter, going into a little darkness, and this could be a very dark scene. But that's why I went to RX and doing that. Okay. And this part of the sketchbook, I was just doing some weapon designs for a card game that I was thinking about doing if I've had the money to make the roughs. Nothing really spectacular here, nothing to write home about. A lot of you out there can do far better. I mean, really, this is 8-year-old style, but it's just roughing up the different versions of hammers. Not really trying to make a spectacular looking hammer, not a sharp professional looking thing. It's just a rough idea of, okay, if it was circular, it would probably look like that. If it was square, it would look like this. But there's also hammers that have these kind of triangle anvil formats, and even some that have circular ping hammer parts. Then come the ones that look like mallets. Then you have the ones that are long, and then you have ones that are short hand-to-hand combat ones. So that's all I was doing here, just very rough, not trying to be Jim Lee, Topic Fall, and rattle off some names of some really good artists. And yeah, that's not where I was going with that. Then I decided to mess around with this. Had a little, I don't know what you call art block. I don't really call it art block. I just call it, I wanted to do something else, but I'm trying to do something else. So I'm trying to go left, but my imagination wants to go right. So I decided to go right with my imagination and work on some African face mask kind of concepts. How to capture personalities and maybe styles of how they wear their hair or how they look. Face mask. I don't know, this one looks almost like who. I ain't gonna say his name because it don't make no sense to even bother saying his name. His name is well enough in the news already. And I kind of went back to my Gordon Fisherman. Tried to do something that looked almost like, an Asian character, or a samurai-ish kind of character. Maybe a personality that looks kind of a French or something. I don't know. That's, for me, I always see French with that long goatee kind of thing that's sharp and very distinct. That's just me. Probably because of shows I've seen where characters are drawn like that. And hopefully you guys have seen this video where I was talking talked about Thanksgiving and created this rough Thanksgiving character design. Nothing spectacular here. I wasn't trying to go for any major rendering because I wasn't trying to sell the item. I was just expressing my feelings of Thanksgiving. More roughs of a children's book idea that I have not yet really committed to. 1, don't got the money. 2, haven't decided on Kickstartering it. Here's a Christmas one that you've probably seen. Once again, not going for anything professional. I was going for a, well, I can't say professional when you talk about children's books, because children's books are very well designed. But you know what I mean. I wasn't going for realism. I was going for a cartoonish look. And these guys, you may not see it too much later because they're part of Magic World. These are my one character or one design covers for the webcomic, as well as the printed media. I wasn't going for anything, hyper realism, but I was going for a kind of old 8-bit, 16-bit cartoon kind of Final Fantasy design style version. So if you haven't seen it, you're getting a sneak peek. Wizard carrying a box, a treasure box, and in Final Fantasy, certain treasure boxes can attack you. So he just realized he's picked the wrong box. Then there's a bunch of characters here who defeated the monster and got the gold. I decided not to draw the gold here because that will be done later on. I wanted to do it without pencil marks, so I just kept a rough idea of the 3 characters. Here again, kind of going for a cutesy funniness of characters dancing at a ball. Here we go. We got the brother. Got the brother taking on the snake or the dragon. Yes, it's not proportional. Yes, it's not really all that good. Too bad. So sad. Then we got my sister here. Just beat that fish, bring it home for you, the meal for the family. So this kind of idea of what I might go with as the fishmonger female version for the guild, Fisherman's Guild. There we go. This one here I may do, I don't know. I have to make this character bigger. You want to sit on the side of the rail of a boat. Can't really show the boat too much, so instead I show the mise, a bird in the sky, clouds. And kind of show the 2 characters' interaction. I don't know if I'm going to show a fish jumping out. We'll kind of really solidify the fact that they're on the ocean. I don't know. I might. This one was just, there we go, that should be a better angle. It was just drawing a character riding a bird. I wasn't trying to go for a chocobo. I was trying to go for something like a combination of emu and something else. And there's another possible cover for Magic World. Showing an adventurer who found herself a little secret cave, but of course she keeps a knife around just in case somebody wants to be a problem. And she's enjoying her little secret getaway. And this one here you definitely have seen. This is my space angel at work. You've probably seen this on YouTube before you have seen any other. Kind of in a dark space station and the light's coming in and you got to close that window because that light is going to be too bright and too hot. It's just going to be not good. So she's just closing it up and going about her work. And that's about it for the sketchbook. So if you like, let's put it this way. Sketchbooks are never to be absolutely shown. They're not supposed to be well drawn. They're supposed to be a way to express an idea, roughing out a concept. Now, if this was a more what I was going to print or make into something to sell, then I probably wouldn't even show any of this at all. I wouldn't even show the being done.